Firstly, I'm as a media consumer, I was really a fan of Will Smith, and he from the days of Fresh Prince. That's right. And he's as an actor and as a performer,
super talented.
He's really, really talented. So he let himself down with that momentary lapse of reason, quoting Pink Floyd there, but it was the wrong thing to do, and it was the wrong way to do it. Now he came out with an apology. I think on his Instagram feed I saw it. So that apology that he put on his Instagram feed and his the sentiment that's expressed, okay, it's quite classy and quite well done. If only he had done it at the time.
Yeah.
And his speech, it's really bizarre, right? I mean, the guy just did this crazy thing on stage, and then he's given an award by the Academy. But he did, I think, already at that time, in the way he expressed himself, clearly regret what he had done. I think he could have handled his apology better right there and then. He didn't. But I think there's no doubt in my mind that he has expressed quite a lot of contrition and regret and apology all the way along. So wrong, and people do wrong things. Then when they say sorry, well, we have to kind of engage with that process in good faith.
So you don't think he should be stripped of his Oscar or kicked out of the Academy or anything? Do you think should he be punished like it?
Well, thankfully I don't have to write their policy and their SOP, right? Because I presume that they would have to take a view not just on that act, right? Because you cannot make a rule for one person for one act. You have to say, well, then does that mean that every actor who's ever slapped anybody gets stripped of their award? Or is it only if you're then subsequently charged you get stripped of the award? Or only if you're then convicted you get stripped of the award, right? The fact that it happened on stage and on camera, actually that shouldn't be part of the discussion, right? Yeah. And frankly, I mean, you guys will know the details, the ins and outs. There are tons of people with awards and actors out there who have done all kinds of crazy things in their personal life, right?
Yeah.
Did they all get stripped of their awards? And so I think there's a real practical difficulty that the Academy is going to have to deal with. Thankfully, I'm not in anything to do with them or their position. I think the least helpful thing to do would be just to make a decision one way or the other purely as virtue signaling, right? I mean, you got to set out what your principle is, and then you got to say, and now I test my principle against what has happened in the world, right? So if your principle is that the award is for acting and everything else other than acting doesn't count, well, then you hold to that principle now. But if your principle is that the award is for acting and being a role model in society, then you got to draw a different line, and you got to say, well, if you're convicted, or then I take a certain view, or you behave in a certain way, then I have a process. And it must be due process. Otherwise, it becomes arbitrary.
Is there going to be another line in the parliamentary guidelines? Please don't slap your fellow MPs.
If I have to write that line, if I have to actually write that line, I got a bigger problem, Although I do think there is something in the standing orders about
physical
unparliamentary behavior. You must have a certain amount.
Must be updated.
But I think if you got to go down and specify, just to be clear, for the avoidance of doubt, unparliamentary behavior includes. Then I think we got a bigger problem.
Slapping. Here's a sample video.
Do not do that. Negative example follows.
But I think we're all on the same page there. Will Smith, we all grew up watching him, and it's just a very sad moment to see someone lose his cool like that.
And it's indefensible, regardless of what he's going through internally, emotionally, mentally. It's indefensible.
I mean, that line is there a family line that cannot be crossed?
No, but you have to then ask whether Chris Rock knew about it. He's like, was he just making a joke about a haircut? I mean, or did he actually understand the thing that was being
medical condition and all?
That's right. So I mean, these are unknowables, right? I mean, or maybe Rock will one day say something
in his upcoming stand-up tour.
But the thing is, but the thing is, you're right. Whatever it is, that type of resort to violence is inexcusable.
It's terrible. Terrible.
Yeah. But Will Smith, I was a fan, man.
I think many people were. Yeah. It's broken a whole bunch of YouTube records for most number of views in 24 hours.
Goodness.
Yeah.